Hey guys, welcome to the Superhero Cut Show where we talk all things Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. It's Stevie Hayes, joined by my brother Jerry. How you doing, my man? What's going on,
Fantastic. How are you?
bro? I'm on cloud nine right now. I'm not high, but I feel like I'm high. You know what I mean? So, Deadpool, Wolverine. Spoiler alert! If you don't want to hear any spoilers, do not watch this video. Okay, just go away. Now there were some cameos, bro, in this movie. So I'm gonna name a couple, and we're gonna talk about them. So Elektra was in this movie, and Jennifer Garner,
Elektra.
Gambit, Channing Tatum, Daphne Keane back as X-23. A big one, Chris. What's the last name?
Evans.
Yeah, I almost say Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Chris Evans came
Storm,
back as Johnny Storm, Human Torch. Wesley Snipes as Blade, which shocked me the most. The Deadpool corpse.
That was a big one.
Yeah, we saw Blake Lively as Lady Deadpool. Matthew McConaughey was Cowboy Deadpool. Okay, you might not have known, but where they're showing all of the names, we saw the names of Matthew McConaughey and Blake Lively, which is freaking awesome. Henry Cavill Wolverine.
Yo, that was crazy.
Henry Cavill freaking Wolverine.
Yeah.
The Hulk, Savage Hulk. By the way, that Wolverine suit that he had on, the brown with the yellow. Woo!
Oh my god, bro, that was so sick. And they did the claw with the reflective, bro.
So those are like the main cameos. All the other ones are like small. We're only gonna talk about the main ones. So here's my question for you. Who was your favorite cameo of this movie?
It's really tough, but I think I am going to have to go with Wesley Snipes as Blade because, first of all, I think like one of the Blade movies was it was one of the earlier first R-rated movies my dad finally took me to see in movies. I was obsessed with Blade as a kid, and also it was such a surprise because like Mahershala Ali got to be in his feelings about that because I would be, but I was happy they did it. I love Wesley Snipes. I grew up on his Blade movies, and he didn't have like one of the 2 second like "Hi, I'm here" cameos. You know, he actually had a legit role in the Void. The Henry Cavill one was dope. I gotta say, the Channing Tatum, like, I wasn't sure if they intended for his voice to be awful until
It
they
had to be
finally
on
made the
purpose.
joke.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, bro, it was so bad. Like, you know, it made. I actually, if I were making the movie, I wouldn't have done that because that made the movie feel silly in a lot of ways. I actually think that didn't land. I don't think it landed at all. I don't think it was a good joke. Yeah, the Channing Tatum thing, I think it was horrible. And I actually think he could probably be a great Gambit. And now, like, I never want to see him as Gambit again.
See, I disagree. I think it was awesome, and the fighting scenes with him were just awesome too. The fighting was just great. I really enjoyed his fight choreography, but I think a lot of people. Well, go ahead.
I almost think that the Gambit that we got in X-Men Origins Wolverine had better fighting. In that one scene, like that back alley behind the bar.
Yeah, I have to rewatch it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in a couple of years.
Yeah,
but
I'll have to look.
I think that is the best Wolverine solo movie, and I actually think it's a great movie, and it's super underrated. It's definitely much better than Logan.
Origins is a great film, and it is better than Logan. I agree. And we're gonna get killed for that, but you can debate us anytime you want. We want all the smoke. So my favorite cameo. Oh man, it's hard. My favorite cameo was probably Human Torch. And you know, for me, like the Fantastic Four growing up was my hero group. You know, I watched all the Fantastic Four animated shows. You know, I wanted to be Johnny Storm, even though I'm black, but like I wanted to be.
Michael B. Jordan did it.
I wanted to be, and that is out of my head canon. Way out of my head canon. There was a moment where I thought that Miles was going to show up as a Reed for a moment.
When I heard that song, Oh, Miles Teller. Bro, when I heard like the beat before the movie and it kind of sounded like Spider-Verse, I was like, there's no way Miles
Yeah,
Morales.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh no, no, yeah, Miles, my Miles, but yeah, bro, like I was a big Johnny Storm fan, growing up, and like, you know, Chris Evans was the guy, like back in the day for what he was Human Torch. So it was really fun to see him fly. It's a shame that we didn't get to see like any more of his power. And the way that freaking what's her name killed him was just ruthless, man. Took the skin off his body, like
Bro,
that was. By the way,
yeah.
hell of a villain. By the way, she was savage, bro. And then and bro, and,
Yeah.
and then and then when Cassandra Nova put Wolverine under the ground and dragged him with his claws out, that was some savagery, bro. It was that like she's a dog. She is a dog. But anyways,
Yeah.
but yeah,
That was crazy.
I think that Elektra is a sleeper. I think Jennifer Garner was great as Elektra. Didn't see much, but like her dialogue was good. I loved X-23. Definitely the campfire conversation that she had with Wolverine. I think that was super awesome. Blade, I mean, and to be honest, Jerry, I think Blade is going to be a fan favorite for a lot of people. And the funny thing about it is that Wesley Snipes has been trashing the MCU Blade for like months now. That's why I find it funny that he's in this, because I don't know if you noticed, but Wesley Snipes has been throwing subtle shots at like Mahershala Ali and the Blade thing, and I think a lot of it has to do with like he felt like he could still be Blade. You know what I mean? And so I think that plays a part. But like seeing Wesley walk in as Blade, like my theater erupted.
I know.
Like,
I was so shocked. I was like, no way.
yeah.
I almost see it like it makes me think there might be more to the complications in making the Blade movie.
Yeah. And also just want to say this, because you guys are going to see this when we talk about this. A lot of the leaks that we covered happened, guys. Just saying.
That's 100%, especially the
The
anchor.
anchor. Oh,
Yo,
yeah,
that
dude.
was a
I'm doing
big
a
one.
whole solo. I have a whole solo. I've been writing notes for
Yeah,
that to
you were
break it
right on
down.
that. I didn't buy it. You were right.
And remember how do you remember we got trashed for this on TikTok too? Because I was gassing this anger thing, and Jerry, basically like the anger thing explains a lot for the future. I mean, bro, I think every cameo in here was amazing. Henry Cavill, let's talk about that, because that
Yeah.
surprised me the most. Like when he was working on the bike and I saw the muscles, I'm like, who is that? Because I was like, Hugh Jackman's not that husky. And I'll be honest, man, Cavill needs to be the recast for Hugh Jackman.
I know.
He needs to be. There's no way. Like he
So,
looked better than I'm sorry to tell you, he looked better than Hugh Jackman, guys. I'm sorry, he did.
nah, I don't know about that, but I will say this. So
Oh my god, he did, bro.
Feige had a really good comment, and someone asked him if he thinks anyone will ever top Hugh Jackman's
Oh yeah.
portrayal of Wolverine, and what Feige basically said. I'm not exactly word for word, but this to the effect of what he said was, you know, there are many different versions of Wolverine. Wolverine is a long history character,
Yeah.
and the version of the character that Hugh Jackman played, I don't think will ever be topped.
Yeah.
Obviously, and it was a great answer because number one, it's 100% true. Number two, it was diplomatic and it leaves a warm welcome to whoever ends up playing Wolverine in the future, which is inevitable. Okay.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, this whole recast thing, like, whether the actor is alive or not, like, there's all these fans that are like, oh, you can't ever recast that character. Like, we really, for the genre, we really, really need you to move back.
Yeah, he also basically told us what he's going to do with all of the other guys. It's going to be different versions of that character. And the other thing that he also said in that quote was, "I'm not going to recast a guy to play Hugh Jackman. Like I don't want to
Right.
make another Hugh Jackman." And I do agree that is the best one. I think Henry Cavill could be a different version of Wolverine and still landed. But yeah, he looked. I mean, dude, he looked pretty promising. I'm not
No,
gonna
he
hold you.
really did. He looked like perfect. By the way, Marvel recently put out. So Marvel has done 2 different series on their like life story. So they did a 6 issue uh, um, Spider-Man life story, Fantastic Four life story, and it kind of takes you through all the history of the character. They both of them are absolutely amazing. You should absolutely read them. But they recently did something similar with Wolverine, and it's called Life of. I'm pretty sure it's called Life of Wolverine. I read it recently. It was great, but like it really is incredible how much history Wolverine has. And he says it in the movie. He's like, he says in Deadpool, he's like, you are the most annoying person, like this and that. And he just reams them out I've ever met in my life. And that's saying a lot because I've been alive for 200 fucking years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he reamed him out in that car scene. Oh my god! And then the Deadpool was like, I'm gonna fight you right now.
Yeah.
The only question that I have is this the Earth that Monica Rambeau is on? Because if this is the Earth that Monica Rambeau came onto at the end of the Marvels, this makes things line up perfectly with the incursion.
Yeah.
Because Wolverine's gonna find his family, you know what I mean, etc.
Right.
And this is what Jerry hated with the Multiverse of Madness, because like they didn't really play a part in the plot at all, in his opinion. And I think that like the way that they did cameos in this film, I think it is better than what they did in the Multiverse of Madness, because like the cameos, they weren't just there for 1 second. They like Feige them actually gave these characters meaning to the story.
Yeah.
And they mattered, and definitely in the battle they mattered. So I'm happy, man. I'm happy.
I do think cameos are becoming a major selling point in these movies, and I still think that's a problem.
But it's the multiverse. I mean, that's how you that's the point.
This cameo thing is going to be here outside the multiverse. I guarantee it.
The cameos is this phase. This phase is cameos. So I'm pretty hyped. I did want Ben Affleck to be in it. I'm not gonna lie. I thought he was gonna pop up. I'm not like I really thought he was, and I think that would have also been fun.
Channing Tatum as Gambit. Like I said before, I think they should have let him do the proper voice, and like they didn't need to make the movie be any funnier or sillier than it already was. And I just think that made it just feel like too silly in a way. And I just don't think it landed. And I think it ruined his cameo. And it sucks.
I don't agree. I don't agree, but I see your point though. I don't agree, but I see your point.
Yeah.
I see your point.
Fair.
And I think this is Wolverine's best performance as Wolverine. I don't like
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I do. I think that this is the best material Hugh Jackman has had as Wolverine. For him to come in as this failure, and he's like a wussy kind of sort of, and to be like I think this was Hugh Jackman's best Wolverine performance. And a lot of people are going to get mad at me about that because everyone thinks that Logan is the best performance, but it's not. The only other performance for me is probably Days of Future Past. It's probably my favorite Wolverine performance.
I think Hugh Jackman is just such a talented actor, and he has done a phenomenal job in every Wolverine. I mean, like, bro, in Origins when he jumps out of the pool, man, and when he saves Rogue in the Empire State Building in X-Men, like there are just so many awesome moments. It definitely, it's hard to say because he really did crush Logan, but the character arc and character development for him from being this failure that didn't care about anyone to becoming friends with Deadpool and having that hero moment in the end, that was definitely big.
Yeah, I think it was a really good character development for Wolvie in this film.
100%.
I have a hard time with the Fox Wolverine stuff just because they disregarded him so much, in my opinion, with the suits. And I just feel like they just let him be a Marvel character, man. And that's just what I think that's what I love about Deadpool and Wolverine. They just felt like Marvel characters to me, not like and I think that's my issue with the Dark Knight trilogy too, is that sometimes, and look, the movie is important, I will concede that, But I think that a lot of, back in the day, and I understand you had to sell it a certain way. But for my preference, like the way that I consume things, I love all the cringy superhero stuff. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think that's why the Deadpool 3 to me is like so good. You know what I mean? Because I love the cringy, colorful suits with the cards that float and the stupid accent. Like,
Yeah.
so, but all in all, I'm happy. I think you guys are going to really enjoy this movie, and we're gonna we're not gonna really hit you with any more breakdowns until next week. We want you guys to simmer with it, and then we're gonna really, we're gonna go very deep into this because there's a lot of stuff that was said and talked about,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Just so much depth for a movie that was so like crazy and funny, and it also got pretty deep. So
Yeah,
it
a lot of
just
things were said that they just grazed over, and that's why
yeah,
I can't wait for you to watch it a second time because I think you're gonna have so many more notes.
it's super unique. It's just it's like this movie is there's nothing else like it.
Yep. So, all right, y'all. Please like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you know when we post. Peace out, y'all.